Skilled care. We have a wonderful, amazing rehab unit as well as 2 levels of secure memory care on our property. So if you are interested in learning a little bit more about what we have to offer or even about the steps needed to place a loved one, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to walk you through your options. You can call me at 401-767-3500 or email me at msmith@santantoine.net.
Were you people over at St. Antoine's pushing the panic button a little bit yesterday when the whole thing with Trump coming down and we're freezing Medicaid and that's it? And like, what do we do? And then the injunction came in, so you have till, what, Monday? Before. So anyway, first question, were you pushing the panic button yesterday?
So that loaded part, that I was going to address in the second message. But yeah, I don't think we're done, freaking out or being nervous. I think that, whether I worked in healthcare or not, obviously there's a lot of industries impacted by the news that came out yesterday, and I'm sure John has a lot to say about it, so I'm waiting to see what he has to offer. But from where I sit and the work that I do and the residents that we serve, it was a really bad day.
Yeah.
And I'd like to not relive that moment, but there is fear that we are potentially facing some bad decisions, abrupt decisions, not well thought out decisions, and worried about how that's going to impact our day to day. We already, as it is, have money flow issues just with everything that happened in our state with Medicaid a couple months ago and breach of private information. And there's been some tangled up dollars and all of that. We're still rebounding from a few years ago with UHIP issues. Like there's just stuff. There's already barriers. And then you had the pandemic. So healthcare in general is just tired. So to add this on top of it, even if it was just a hot second, even if it was a blip that got reversed last night, or at least a pause button until further notice, we're tired of it. And we just want to be able to show up to work and do our job and be appreciated and valued and not have to defend it constantly. And yeah, I mean, I could go on for hours and I won't bore you with it, but it is an unfortunate layer of stress that we don't need right now.
Okay. I just wondered, yourself and other facilities like yourself, they must have all been, ears perked up and like, what?
Yeah.
What's going to happen?
Well, I will share with you. So you guys know in the fall we received a $250,000 federal grant. Senator Reed was really an active participant in that, and he came out to our community and he delivered the check. We had a big ceremony. I mean, but that's just, ceremonial. We didn't have the actual check yet. It was promised. It's owed. We still don't have it yet, right?
Wow.
So news like that breaks yesterday, and you're sitting there saying we were already in this like stalling pattern waiting for that check. And I know it's just all, federal dollars take a while to kind of trickle down to the sources. But now you're just sitting here saying, are we ever going to see it? And we're already in motion. We've already developed this project that we got the money for. It's happening. It's
the money's
there.
Been spent.
The money's been spent. And you can only, beg, borrow, plead, whatever. You can only, it's whatever. I don't need to bore you with all of it. But again, it's another tier of exhaustion. But I think that's where we sit. And a lot of other recipients in the same boat as us, that's where they sit. Right. And it's just unfortunate. People doing the hard work, nonprofit level, that are used to getting federal grants and fighting for that dollar are really in a state of panic right now.
State Senator Melissa Murray, who works part-time here, I saw her yesterday, and she was just beside herself because she's on the health committee at the State House. And she's like, I can't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone's gonna be looking to me, and I can't do anything.
Yeah.
And she's like, she was in a real, what do I do kind of thing. And then it came down. Okay, there's gonna be the federal judge came down and said, okay, we're gonna freeze on this for, at least for a little while. So slight breathing room.
I don't think he has the power or authority to do that, does he?
Well, in my humble opinion, and this is where Melissa was saying, "Oh, John, I'm sure I'll have something to say about this."
That was me warning the audience.
I may not be saying what she thinks I'm about to say. He is testing the boundaries far beyond what is necessary. But every time he does an executive order that does things like this, he challenges the Congress to actually do their job. This one in particular, I think, exploded, and I'm not yet certain that the extent of what people panicked about yesterday was the extent of what was the expectation or intent. Mm-hmm. Because from right out of the gate, it was, no, we're not doing anything to touch Medicare, we're not doing anything to touch Social Security. But where they did hit was the Medicaid issue, and a lot of the foreign aid issue came from things that our Congress appropriates that have you scratching your head. Like, except for the federal judges' actions, if they ship them quickly, or if they ship the money quickly, the people in Afghanistan can have their condoms.
Yeah,
And the
that
people
was
in Ghana can
bizarre.
have their condoms that the United States government is
We've been shipping them over.
paying
there?
for. No, I'm sure they're not shipping the condoms. They're shipping the money.
Ah,
The
I see.
question is the Taliban going to skim the money like they've been doing? Are all of these nations
Yes.
actually using the foreign aid properly? Now, I saw a doctor in a video yesterday talking about how the reason we don't have so many infectious diseases in this country is because we use our foreign aid to provide medical assistance to those countries in Africa to a great extent, for Ebola is one example, in order to help them keep the disease in their country and treat it effectively as they can. And I think that's the kind of stuff that they're looking to cut, is the things that, that's going to be a byproduct of cutting the condoms for the Afghans, because we use foreign aid for so many ridiculous things. We use in-nation aid and grants for things that are ridiculous. And if you see the list, and I'm sure it'll come out, there'll be several of them, of the ridiculous things we pay for. And so I think this is an overreach of trying to shut down that kind of spending. But I'm not sure the president has the authority. Once Congress appropriates the money and the bill gets signed, he's out of his element. And that's why the courts will shut him down quickly. And that's why I said, when he started signing all of these hundreds of executive orders, they said the first thing that's going to happen is they're going to flood the courts with lawsuits.
Yeah, they are.
And that's happened.
And that's what's happening.
Well, you used
But
a good word. Ooh,
But it
overreach.
points
This
it
is
points to the fact that our Congress, the House and Senate, are so unable to agree on day-to-day lawmaking and budgetary process that they polarized so much between the Tea Party and the progressive wing, have taken so much control over the ends that are becoming bigger and bigger, that they can't come to agreement on anything. And so the country's been run by executive order since George Bush Jr. Basically, that they just make these dictates. And he's now taken it to such an extreme extent that it's going to end up being decided by the court. But I don't think it's going to solve the problem with the House and Senate, because they are still as polarized as ever, as you can see from the fact that Trump's nominating people that are getting purely partisan votes to be approved, and that's generally never been the case. And that just points out the polarization of the country.
All right, 766-1240. Note's been called in. It just says to the panel. It might be, you might have already hit on this, John. It just says the federal judge temporarily blocks Trump administration freeze on federal grants and loans. Is that all part of the whole Medicaid?
Yes.
Or is that
Yeah,
everything.
Okay.
Medicaid's a grant
Basically,
program.
said you can't
It's
do the
based,
executive
okay.
order. You
Sounds like a big deal. So comments, please.
It is a big
And we've been
deal.
commenting on it.
It's a big deal, but it's a big deal that I think is going to be. I think he is unfortunately setting a stage for the second half, and maybe he's trying to rush everything through as fast as he can, because I don't think his second 2 years will have cooperative House and Senate, because they'll be run by Democrats, based on
Just
his
to see
doing
it.
the things he's doing now.
You see a backlash, and then
Oh,
we'll vote
absolutely.
in Democrats
Absolutely.
after that. Okay, that's certainly possible. All right, so we'll see what happens after this injunction by the federal judge goes away, and we'll see what goes on from there. Back here locally here in Woonsocket, if you look at the front page of today's Black Stuff Valley Call-in Times, we got the names of the mom and the daughter that were involved in that car accident on Hamlin Avenue. Dina Khan is the mom, 32 years old, and Eliza Khan is the 4-year-old. Both still in the hospital, both in serious condition, down at Hasbro and at Rhode Island Hospital.
So what was the complaint? Was that some people were saying that the sidewalk was not plowed, but the sidewalk on the other side of the street was plowed?
The sidewalk on the school side was clear.
Right.
The sidewalk on the empty lot side that's not been developed was not.
Right.
Well, that would make
and
sense.
that's the
wouldn't
side they were on.
it? Yeah.
I'm not faulting the police chief for this, but when I read the article about this incident, he said, well, they were walking with their back to the traffic. It's like, all right, I get it. You're supposed to walk facing the traffic, especially if you're in a situation with no sidewalk. But maybe they were walking to get to the crosswalk so they could use it. And I have a sense of what happened. If the sun was coming up, and I don't know exactly what time.
But
it
they
was,
haven't
the sun was
mentioned
about-
but nothing's been mentioned about the sun
But if you make that
yet.
curve
Yeah.
at a certain time of the morning,
That glare.
and the sun's coming up right over the horizon,
Yeah.
you're blind.
Okay.
I mean, I have it every day when I go up Logie Street in the spring and the fall.
Mm-hmm.
Come up to the crest of the hill, you're blind. And if someone's at Vernon School crossing, that's why you slow down to 2 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Because you're doing this, and the visor's down, and you're trying to see through the haze of the sun.
So are you saying that
Or
he
it could be a phone,
it could be a phone
checking
thing?
the phone while
Yeah.
driving.
So
Amazing
as
thing.
just as an example, blinded, and that's what made him swerve and hit the snowbank and then cut across the street.
Blinded and not see, hit the snowbank to cut across the street.
Well, that's what it said in the
I'm
article
sorry.
that he hit
I
a
thought he was on
snowbank
the same
first.
side. He hit the snowbank.
I don't know.
And then hit them.
I don't know.
Because he was turning too wide. Maybe I thought if he was blinded or was using the cell phone,
Yeah.
or going too fast, simply was turning that curve, hit the snowbank, and then hit them.
Chief Oast did say speed may be a factor as well.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's the other problem is you turn that corner too fast,
yeah.
and it is a school zone.
So speed limit's what?
Maybe there's not
25,
enough
15?
signage or flashing lights or things of that nature, so you should be slowed down around that area anyway.
So a
Which
GoFundMe
maybe-
page has been set up, and they're doing fundraisers to raise money for their medical costs, which I'm sure are going to be pretty extensive
Yeah.
right now.
Well, I feel
so-
bad for all involved. I
that-
mean, even the driver, honestly, this could have just been, I mean, we could analyze all the situations, but he's got to live with that guilt and
Forever.
forever. And this,
Yep.
is,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is really a very sad situation.
Yep.
Really sad.
All right, we're going to take a break here in the Coffee and Program. More coming up. Melissa, time for a second message. You can get into the weeds now.
You know, I'm not going
What's
to.
going on at the San
I'm
Antonio
not gonna-
community?
No weeds.
No,
No,
all
No
right,
weeds.
no
I
weeds,
think
okay.
I have enough of that when I get back to the office. So I'm going to keep it light. Yesterday we had a tremendously uplifting and happy day
Oh,
at
good.
St. Antoine Community, and I thought it was appropriate to share it.
Good.
We actually had students from Prout School show up on our property yesterday. It was organized. It's not like they just appeared.
It's a long drive from Prout School.
It was a long drive. It was a long drive. So we do have a relationship with Prout School. We have a relationship with a lot of schools in the area. Bishop Hendricken, Bishop Fian, Mount. They're always sending kids to the property for various reasons. And this has been an annual tradition for a couple of years now where they send about 100 it's been anywhere from 110 to 130 kids. Which sounds like a lot, but we have a big community to support them at the different levels of care. So we just break that big mass of kids up, and they spend about 3 or 4 hours working with our seniors and doing one-on-one. I will post something later today on our social media page so you can see some of the pictures, but our residents just soak it up, and we do as much as we can. I'm a huge believer, and I have a lot of passion for intergenerational programming. And it was evident yesterday how much the seniors love it and being with the kids and vice versa. There's a lot of lessons to be learned. We had some kids show up with, instruments. One had a cello, 2 guitars.
Wow.
And they performed for a little batch of residents off to the corner of one of the rooms, and others did art projects, others did bowling, and just different levels. And it was awesome. And I just want to say thank you to the Prout School for bringing a little bit of sunshine to our property in the middle of winter, which, is kind of a tough stretch. January and February stink, to be very honest. There's not as many visitors because it's cold, flu, whatever season. So
Right.
we ask visitors to stay out if they're feeling under the weather. So traffic coming in and out of the building is a little quieter. So to have the group of kids come in with smiles on their faces just brought a lot of sun to our property. So I just want to say thank you.
All right. Is this to show the kids job opportunities that are available?
Yeah, funny you say that at the end when they have lunch. So they're there for a few hours and then they have lunch in one of our dining rooms, which is just loaded with kids. It's a lot to take in. And then all of our top tier leaders stand up for a few minutes and just talk a little bit about their career path and what they do at St. Antoine Community, but their education that landed them there. And it's a chance for them to ask questions as well. So yes, there is that opportunity because we would love to inspire some folks to
Go into
come
the
and work
field.
with geriatrics and
Yeah.
work in healthcare, whether you're a social worker, a nurse, a therapist, marketing, graphics. I mean,
It's all there.
Yeah,
It's all there. I know. And obviously a great environment to work and feel good environment. So, yeah.
All right, well, great. All right, the Coffee and program will continue here on ON Radio.
Here's our tip for having more fun this winter. Ski, smile, repeat. Ski, smile, repeat. Ski, smile, repeat. Check out our 3-day Learn To packages.
You always save when you buy online. Go to Wachusett.com.
You will always find great homemade food at one of the best restaurants in the Blackstone Valley, Missy's Family Restaurant, 801 Clinton Street in Woonsocket. They're open for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week beginning at 6 a.m. and on Fridays they're open for dinner until 7 p.m. You can always get breakfast all day long at Missy's Family Restaurant. And don't forget about their award-winning Dynamites. Missy's Family Restaurant, 801 Clinton Street in Woonsocket.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
ON, AM, and FM.
It's Coffee and here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Melissa Smith, Tim Draper, and John Warden. We just got the word that Channel 10 is reporting that the 4-year-old girl in the accident has passed away
Oh, that's too bad.
Oh, my goodness.
from her injuries. Yes.
Oh.
Yep. Just reading the article. Channel 10's website. Woonsocket Mayor Chris Beauchamp. He is warning businesses about clearing snow after this crash left a 4-year-old girl now passing away. She was in critical condition, but now has passed away. She was walking with her mother, who was also hit right by the Hamlet Middle School on Monday morning. The mayor and the police said speed was likely a factor in the crash, but the mayor said a snowbank could have also contributed. The mayor says it's the responsibility of the businesses and homeowners to clear the sidewalks. He said a law requires people to clear snow within 4 hours. Crash happened on Hamlin Ave right when the parents were dropping off the kids at the middle school.
But that stretch of the road was an undeveloped lot, right? So
The snowbank was on the opposite
whose
side.
responsibility
Still
is
a
the
property
sidewalk?
owner.
The snowbank was on the
property
opposite
owner.
side of the road
Okay.
from the school in front of a vacant lot near consumers.
Yeah.
All right. Public work crews were on the scene clearing the pile out of the way after the crash.
So is this a
there
legal
was- so there we go.
liability for the owner?
Pardon me?
Is it
Of the-
legal liability for the owner?
No.
Okay.
Well, they could try, but it won't be.
Yeah.
That poor mom.
Because the snowbank,
I-
the snowbank
yeah.
may have actually extended into the street.
I don't know that you want to. I don't know that you want to survive that as a mom.
That's hard. Mm-hmm. Can't imagine.
All right, so that's the sad news that we got this morning. All right, Tim, I don't know if this is coming out of your pocketbook.
All right. Well, probably.
Blackstone Valley Prep and Durham School Services have unveiled 24 new
Right.
electric school buses
Yep.
and chargers.
Yep. So
I read yesterday
yeah.
they are $350,000 a piece.
Yes, and they got a grant for
Federal
$7
grant,
million.
probably.
Federal grant.
They did.
For $7 million
Okay,
dollars
so
for the
that's where the
buses.
money's coming from.
My question is,
Yes.
who's paying for the electricity to charge those buses? Is that going to be charged to the
From
school?
the school, right?
Which then increases the cost per child to go. So then we have to now pay more out of the school department's budget in Cumberland towards the mayoral academy. So it's just, it's crazy. That's my question. My first question was, great, you get these new buses and these new chargers. That's a lot of electricity,
That's a lot of natural gas to create that electricity.
or coal, or whatever else they're using to create the electricity, right? So yeah, I'm like, I get it. I understand why we want to do it, but who's paying for what? Oh yeah, great. We got a grant for the buses. We got a grant for the chargers. That's the infrastructure cost. But what's the ongoing cost?
The gasoline savings is paying for the electricity.
You think?
I don't know. They buy diesel for those, right?
Yeah.
Or are they regular gas?
Yeah, I think they're regular gas. Most
Okay.
buses are regular
So
gas.
The
they're
store-
not buying
It's trading
gasoline.
off one fuel source for another?
The story does not have, by the way.
Who's going to fix
the
Cumberland
answer.
roads because of the extreme weight of the bus?
Right.
I don't know.
Another question?
Everyone's just very happy. Governor Dan McKee, members of the Cumberland community say it's a big step forward for the health and well-being of the BVP scholars, the community, and the environment because the buses produce zero tailpipe pollution.
It's interesting. So BVP owns their own fleet of buses, whereas the regular public schools contracts with the
There's
Durham
no,
schools.
there's
But this
no.
This is from Durham, the school bus.
Oh, the school buses are from Durham?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought BVP
They
owned
own
them.
them. Oh, I guess not.
So can Durham use those for everybody? They don't have to just necessarily use them for.
I don't know. 24 seems like a lot for one school.
Yeah. Interesting.
So, all right.
There's a lot of geographic area.
Now I'm
that
even more
BVP
confused.
covers.
So they got a grant. I think I missed the beginning of it because I was looking at an email. But wait a minute, they got a grant for these electric buses,
To buy the buses.
but they're not owned by Blackstone Valley Prep. They're owned by
By
Durham,
Durham.
and Durham is a for-profit. It's not nonprofit, right? So
No, they
how-
got. I think they said he said they got a back grant for
No.
the charging stations
for the
No, I
charging
thought for the
station.
buses
No, that's
and the
what
charging.
and the buses. Okay.
So how does that
That's
work?
what Tim is saying.
Now,
That's
the
not what
I
got
guess
here.
the big question for you is who owns the charging stations? Because if they got that grant under the same money that was being used to put charging stations across the country, that ended up doing about 8 of them in the first 2 years. Maybe that's where they got that money from. Although,
But Tim,
Yeah.
quick math. 350,000
Yeah.
times 24
Right. More than
is
7 million.
8.4 million.
Yeah.
So
It's 7 million.
where's the other million
don't know.
and a half coming from?
Good question. Actually, there's a lot of questions here.
There are. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
But we're healthy. We're
it's
healthy.
all tied to providing public education, which means the other $1.5 million is coming from taxpayers somehow.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, if it's Durham,
and-
wouldn't
and-
they have to?
And if it's Durham, then they incorporate it into their pricing
pricing.
for the service, which
Right.
means the
It
taxpayers
was
pay.
paid for it, right.
So back to you, Tim.
Back to me.
Your
Yay!
pocketbook. I know you don't have kids in the school system anymore, but
No.
you're a resident.
But I'm okay with sharing the cost of education in my town
they're
because
saying,
it's
"Thank you,
it's
sport."
the right thing to do. Thank you, sport.
all right.
I'm not gonna be one of those folks at the end that'll like I'm not paying for education because I don't use the education anymore. But I did.
Oh, okay.
I used it, and my kids were well educated in the town of Cumberland in the traditional public school system.
All right. Well, there are funky things going on at the airport here in Rhode Island. First of all, they were named the fastest growing airport in New England by the FAA. That's good.
Yeah.
Ridership is up 27% than last year.
People figured out it's an easy,
It's much better than Logan.
easy in out. Yep.
And things have gotten better. There's more amenities and things like that.
All right. What's the
Flyer
funky
Logan
thing?
campaign.
Skip to the. What's the funky
The
thing?
What's the
funky thing
funkiness?
is
You baited me with
What's
the
the funk?
funky.
the acting head of security at TF Green quit yesterday after only 4 months on the job.
Yeah, they don't like the boss there.
Yeah.
The previous guy got fired, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
Something like that. Yeah, he got in
Yeah.
trouble. And they dumped him, and he was complaining about the boss that's running the
Yeah,
corporation.
something. Yeah,
There's something
they don't
going
like
on.
them.
There's something going on.
That's why I say it's funky.
Yeah.
Something's going on at the airport.
It's a leadership thing, I guess.
Just in a statement, the Rhode Island Airport Corporation spokesman named Bill Fisher says officials did not receive a resignation letter or explanation for Joe Perkins' departure. Instead, Perkins gave the resignation to Rhode Island State Police Colonel Darnell Weaver, who said, "This is in my jurisdiction." And he said he sent a message to colleagues, claiming management wants to eliminate the police department at the airport. Now,
they?
Fisher says
What am
he
I
denies
missing?
those allegations.
So TSA. So
It's not TSA.
this is not TSA, but
No.
they're the ones who do the luggage, the baggage checks, right? Like
Right.
that's
Different.
that's different than
Yeah.
the security you're referencing, which is
There's
really
a-
like patrolling the
It's-
outside of the
Have
property.
you been there to pick someone up?
Yeah, those
Have
people
you
that
tried
are.
to pull over to the curb and wait
Yeah,
for them?
those people.
And had those people tell you, you can't stay here, move.
I just wanted to make sure we were clarifying that
I
it's not the
suspect-
people checking the baggage;
Right.
it's the people that are on the outside that are,
I suspect the security bosses are saying, you can't abuse people like that. Treat them like humans.
Right.
And somebody up above him is saying, no, get him along. I mean, I've never been so frustrated as trying to pick somebody up at the airport.
Yeah.
Because you always, if they've
Well, they want you in
landed,
that
if they've
special
landed,
lot.
you go over to that bottom lower level and you sit by the curb.
No, they don't want
as
you
far
there.
back as you can. And they come along and they tell you can't stay there. Move. You have to keep moving.
yeah.
Well, look at that lot that's right there, right? In the cell phone lot?
They got a cell phone lot
Yeah.
now
Okay.
that's gotten closer.
That you have
it's
to
on the
pay
grounds.
for to get in.
I know.
But even-
Really, I didn't know
Not
that.
the cell phone lot, but the one that's across from the terminal.
Yeah.
That one you have to pay for to get in. Short-term
Right,
parking.
but the cell phone lot is now on the inside of the entry. The south entry off of Post Road, where you have to zigzag up through and you come to a parking lot on the right side that's a cell phone lot.
So you wait
And
there.
it's on the property. You wait there, you come out, you go up to the light, you turn right, and you pick people up, which is nice. But I tell you, the security at TF Green, the last 3 times I've been there, are abusive.
To you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And not just me. Trust me, I've seen them going up to other cars.
Doing the same
And
thing.
basically, they're barking at them.
So it's
move
that-
along.
Move on.
It's their boss that quit.
Yes.
Their boss quit.
Okay.
And I think the
Probably
one before him
tired
was
of-
let go for complaining about something.
So if there's an issue on the airplane and they say we're going to call the cops are already there at the airport.
Yeah, but I thought that was like I
Oh,
thought
there's
Warwick
security.
had
I
to
don't
do
know
that.
that
I
I
thought
don't
I thought
know.
Warwick has to come to that. The city of Warwick has to
Really?
do
But they're
that. I think
saying
so.
we're-
All
the-
the way into the airport if they're having a problem with.
On a plane.
Really?
It's regular. I think it's regular law enforcement.
That I don't know.
I feel like
But
they,
that's
it would
what the
take them
guy-
too long
Somebody
to get
can
in there.
call and tell us that, but I think it is.
Well, that's what the man who was the head of TF Green Security,
Yep.
who resigned. He's the one that claims management wants to eliminate the police department at the airport, which I'm assuming would be his department, not the Warwick Police.
So,
Yeah, I don't know why you'd want to do that unless they want to privately
Well, they
contract the
deny it, of
security.
course.
well,
Maybe they want to get rent-a-cops.
So,
I
so
think
that's why I say things are funky at TF Green.
I totally expected you to say, and I don't know why. I thought this was going to be a story about ghosts or something weird.
no.
You know, the word "funky" really baited me in, Joe. I
did.
was like,
He's good at
I thought
that.
the same
He's
thing
good at
that they're
baiting
going
you
to
in.
find like a
thought-
a nest of snakes in the corner of something. I don't know.
Somebody
I thought
stole
he was,
away in a
I thought he was
wheelbarrow.
going to say they come up with a way to eliminate the 55-foot line at Dunkin' Donuts at 5:30 in the
Oh, man,
morning.
you put a second Dunkin'
They need a
Donuts.
second Dunkin'
Yeah.
Donuts is what they
no,
need.
but the key to that is putting in the mobile order and just picking it up. We
Well,
learned that.
They now
Did
have
you
one.
really?
They
Is that
have
how
one
you
on the other
My
side. They
kids
have
did
another
it.
spot on the other side now.
Do they have two?
On the non-southwest.
Oh, so
side
then
of the
nobody goes
airport.
over there.
Nobody goes through.
So that's the go right first.
Actually, the
then go
last
left.
time I was in the airport, I was actually flying out on American, and I went down that side and I saw Dunkin' Donuts.
Nobody
Oh.
Nobody there.
Because they're on
It's
the
the best side of the
southwest
airport.
That's funny.
I just wanted to add, I told Tim, I don't know if anybody could hear me, I muffled it, but like the mobile to go order if you're at the airport. My kids
Works.
did that when we were checking and we were very late last summer for our flight and we were trying to check our bags in. I'm like, oh no, we didn't get coffee. It was like 5 a.m. I'm like, oh my God, it's gonna be a dreaded flight. They're like, oh, we just put the order in. We're gonna pick it up
On the way.
on the way to the
was it-
gate. And
was
I
it
was
ready?
like, I didn't think they had mobile order at the airport, but they do.
Yes, they do.
And when I saw the line, I was like, oh
You
my
went
God,
all
this
kids
is
are brilliant.
amazing.
I'm going to have to remember that.
Yeah,
I'm
and the
flying
best part, it
somewhere.
was on my daughter's app.
That's-
so
oh,
she
She
paid for
paid
it.
for it. There you
That's
go.
huge.
I know, even better.
Well, the worst favor anyone could ever ask of you, and you just brought it up, John, is can you pick me up at the airport?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Second worst is can you drop me off?
Right. Well,
Yeah.
drop me off. When's your flight out? 6 a.m.
6
So I
a.m.
gotta drop you off at 4.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's right.
Honestly, I don't mind either of them. The only thing I've learned is
hey,
Oh,
that
so
Peggy.
John's available. Wait a minute, hold on.
John's available.
John's
I'm-
retired and he is available to
if I'm
transport
picking
you to the
people up-
airport.
if I'm picking people up at Logan, I make
That's
sure.
a wreck.
It's Logan.
No, I go to the cell phone lot
Yeah.
and I say, from the moment you land, if you've checked bags, don't even text me until your bag comes out on the carousel.
Yeah.
Because in that case, because of the volume of traffic in those pickup spots, I don't expect to stop other than to stop long enough for you to jump in the car.
All right.
But in Providence, I thought you'd be able to pull over.
You got to get barked at. All right.
So the cell phone lot for Providence too.
I would much rather fly. All right.
All right. It is time for a break, and we're going to give you the weather forecast right now, being brought to you by Positive Coaching Alliance.
A chance of rain and snow showers mainly after 4 p.m. During the day, we will see some sunshine and a high of 44 degrees, but it's going to be windy from the southwest up to 40 miles per hour. New snow accumulation of less than a half an inch possible. Tonight, mostly clear skies, overnight low of 14 with wind gusts over 40 miles per hour from the northwest. Thursday's weather, sunshine and 27. Friday, an 80% chance of rain and snow before 7 a.m., then just rain during the day as it gets up to 44 degrees on the thermometer. Southwest wind gusts to 25 miles per hour. Little or no snow accumulation is expected. Friday night, another 80% chance of rain and snow, then just snow as it ends around daybreak. low of 25 degrees. Saturday, mostly sunny skies and a high of 34. Sunday, mostly cloudy, high of 35, calm wind. Monday, a 30% chance of rain, partly sunny and a high of 45. And on Tuesday, mostly sunny skies, high near 36.
Outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street, we have cloudy skies with 34 degrees. Questions about youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit organization, develops better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. Information right now at positivecoach.org.
Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse offers authentic homemade Polish food to make your next meal special. Try our many varieties of hot and fresh pierogies with onions and what they call dirty sour cream. Or pick up golubki, kielbasa, babkas, or some fresh rye bread. We also offer a large selection of specialty and imported foods. Open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, 9 in the morning till 6 p.m., Wednesdays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays from 8 to 5 p.m. It's Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse. Follow us on Facebook and learn about our weekly specials. Located at 855 Social Street, Woonsocket, Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse has all the authentic Polish foods you love.
ON Radio, DollarSaver.com.
Dollar Saver Guy with this week's Dollar Saver Half Price Deal of the Week. From Executive Auto Wash in Woonsocket, we've got 3 Platinum Car Washes. 3 Platinum Car Washes would cost you $72. We get you all 3 half price, $36. They go on sale this Friday morning, 10 a.m. online at onradiodollarsaver.com. That's the letters ON, radio, DollarSaver.com.
ON Radio, DollarSaver.com.
And that begins Friday morning at 10. Thanks for joining us on the Coffee and Program. I'm Joe Callahan here with Melissa Smith, Tim Draper, and John Ward. And Tim, time for your first message from Navigant Credit Union.
Thanks, Joe. So we just came off of our annual meeting on Monday evening. Another successful year in 2024 for the credit union. The board of directors declared another bonus dividend for our members. It's a 5% of our net income is going to be going back to the membership in the form of a payout on the interest that they've earned on their accounts. We're proud of that because it's 38 years in a row that we've done it. We don't have to do that. We're not mandated to do that, but it is just one of the things that when we have a good year, we like to do. And it's fair because, as we often say, our members are owners. But at the annual meeting was interesting this year. We had a couple of questions that came up, and one of them was around cybersecurity. And I'm sure that is in light of all the chaos that's going on with the state of Rhode Island. But I want to assure everybody out there that's listening and is a member of Navigant Credit Union that we take security at Navigant Credit Union about as high as you can possibly take it. The money that we invest in our firewalls and infrastructure to make sure that we are protecting your information, in addition to the redundant systems that we have. Should, God forbid, anything ever happen, we'll always be able to get to the data that we have. But the reality is those things happen, and we need to be prepared for them. And like I said, I can assure everybody out there that the team at Navigant Credit Union takes that very seriously, and we have 24/7 monitoring and a team that works real hard. We've hired a lot of new people on the information security side, so you can rest assured that we are doing everything in our power to make sure that your data is safe and that your money is protected and insured, because that's another important thing too. It is insured, and it's just one more reason why you can trust your partners at Navigant Credit Union. So 233-4700. And that's our phone number, and our website is navigantcu.org.
All right, Tim, thanks. And I think the latest one I got was some email that said, we've reviewed your application, and you've been approved for this ridiculous loan.
It's another one.
I'm like, what application?
And what loan?
I didn't fill anything out.
Right.
So.
I get so much of that crap. I got 4 calls yesterday that said potential spam.
Right.
Every day at noontime now I get one. The red color comes up on it, potential spam. It's like, spend all day hanging up the phone without taking up the call.
You don't answer it and say, hello, potential spam, how are you? They'll be like,
is this Mr. or Mrs. Spam? Spam.
All right. Well, I don't think you want to be this guy. The acting head of the deputy chief of special investigations at the Rhode Island Department of Corrections down there at the ACI. Yeah. He's going to go back to the ACI, it looks like, but not as the guest. Special investigator. He had to step down amid child pornography charges.
Oh my God.
Yep. Seth Crosby placed on paid leave after he was arrested in August on 2 counts of production. Oh, he's making it.
Oh,
that's
God.
That's
even
a
worse.
little worse. We got production or attempted production of child porn and 1 count of video voyeurism.
Is he still on paid leave?
He was placed on paid. Yes. Police began investigating him after a juvenile relative. Oh, that's nice. Reported that he recorded her having relations with her boyfriend in his house. I think I remember that story from last year.
Is he still on paid leave?
He's still on paid leave.
So we're asking the.
I'm going to do a Jeff Dunham thing here. What the hell?
The girl also told investigators that Crosby previously hid a camera in the bathroom while she took a shower. So there's the production, there's the attempted production.
So would
yeah.
Will they send him back to the ACI or will they send him somewhere else?
It's probably a federal crime, so he might go someplace else.
Yeah, he's got to go somewhere else. Can't go back to the ACI.
But he'll still be on paid leave.
Yeah, he'd probably go to Wyatt Detention Center.
Probably father.
I'm making light of it.
I know you are.
It's like they're supposed to go on unpaid leave and be terminated once they're indicted.
Yeah. Well,
he should have been indicted. This is August. He should have been indicted within weeks.
Does he get paid because he wasn't fired? He quit. He stepped down. Is that part of the rules? Is that in the contract?
So what?
I don't know.
Well, he shouldn't get paid. Once he quit, he quit.
I'm assuming he also loses his pension.
Well, that's a you have.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so he was put on paid administrative leave last August.
Right.
Okay, now he stepped down, so the money stops.
But no.
But why
Why does it take from August to almost February 1st to have it trigger that kind of an event?
I don't know.
If he was indicted, usually the indictment triggers
unpaid
the separation.
Yeah.
Or the unpaid portion of the leave. So what kind
maybe they had to wait to
what
do
kind
more?
of union agreements are we making with people here?
It's just more. We got to do the investigation. Yeah, he was arrested. Now we're going to investigate, and now they probably came forward.
How long does it take to figure out that a video recording is
on his phone?
What it is on his phone?
With evidence.
Well, now we get. Now that's a question for Chief Oates.
I ain't going into space from those rocket scientists.
All right. Well, that's where we are now.
This is the part.
He's quit.
This is where I don't know if Melissa ever senses my real frustration when she thinks somehow I take sides in government. But government is stupid.
All right.
It is stupid.
Anyway.
And that's why your organization waiting for money from them is risky. Every day. Even when they're doing their best, they're screwing up.
I'm aware.
All right.
Every day.
This man, by the way, will be in court on February 10th. That's his next court date.
Great.
Oh, well, if I come back in 5 years and do the show with you, you can tell me about his conviction.
Okay, well, maybe. And maybe he's
I think we need a wall of stories that we're waiting for the follow-ups on.
That's not a bad idea. Like a bulletin
There's
board.
been so many things over the years. There's been house raids with drugs and rifles in Burrville. Like, where did that land? Where is that person today? Like, we just need to have a circle back board.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
once we paint.
How many years later?
Brett Smiley, the mayor of Providence, says the nightlife in Providence is great.
Huh.
And it's also critically important to their financially to the city.
Well, that's because it's the only time you can get into the city without getting a ticket for speeding in a school zone.
Providence has 630 nightlife businesses, which support nearly $1 billion in economic activity annually. Okay. And they think they're getting a bad rap because it sounds like every weekend there's another raid or another arrest.
Shooting.
Another shooting. We just had 7 people arrested on Broad Street outside a club at 2 in the morning, right when the club lets out.
He should ask the media to not report on that stuff.
Well, there he is. He's blaming us. It's our fault.
Yeah. Stop doing that.
If we stop reporting it, then everything will be fine.
There was a shooting at this restaurant, but Massimo had a great special last evening. It was fantastic. That's what you should follow up with.
You know what I miss in Providence? This is a sidebar. I had a conversation with my almost 18-year-old daughter who plans as soon as she's 18 to start going to clubs in the city. That's just a whole nother issue for me. But we had a conversation about, when I was your age, back in the day, 30 years ago, there used to be awesome opportunities at like the Strand or Lupo's to go see like small, like getting started type bands for like 15, 20 bucks. You know what I mean? And you'd be up close and you.
Same
Is
thing,
there
it's
any
just
place
100.
like that anymore? But I don't hear about, because I don't think the Strand is still open and Lupo's isn't still open, right? Whatever happened to those venues? What are they called now? I feel old asking that question.
I think they are.
But if there's a listener out there that knows if these places still exist, and then like what, I don't hear of. I'm trying to think of some of the bands that I used to see back then, like up close, like Oasis and Tori Amos actually was even at a show that I saw one time at the Strand, up close and personal.
I'm sure
Joan Osborne.
If you go on TikTok, I'm sure you can
Definitely
find
enjoy
out.
myself,
I get him.
Yeah.
What?
If you go on TikTok, I'm sure you could find out.
Oh, I know.
Probably. Oh, I'm not a TikToker. The tickety talk. I don't
When
even
you,
know what to do on there.
When you Google Lupo's Heartbreak Hotel, what comes up is the Strand Ballroom. All right.
Okay.
Which is also in Providence, and they're just open basically on the weekends.
I mean, that was like the thing to do. Like every weekend, just go.
It was weird. Friday from 12 to 6, Monday from 12 to 6. That's bizarre hours.
So if it was like
It's just a
15,
different-
20 bucks back then, it would be what, like 50 now to go see like a startup band, live music?
They used to have 18 and over shows too.
Yeah.
But I think that's all kind of stopped.
That's what's sad. It's like I'm trying to
Yeah, I don't know where she
throw a
thinks she's
bone to Brett
going.
Smiley and start offering these places where 18-year-olds can safely go, early concert, 7, 8 o'clock. They're out of there by 10, 11. Not
There's
get
a
involved in
lot
the
of-
riffraff.
There's a lot of nightclubs that seem to always end up in fights. And,
Yeah.
And
Well, I think
that's
something's
the
happening
problem.
inside the club.
Take it
And
outside.
and now it's
then
2 in the morning. We
Right.
all got to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So now they're just all out on the street, and things escalate. So.
Yep.
And now we got to call the
Need
cops.
just like a wholesome spot where I know.
We need a whole.
Wow.
That's
Okay,
what you
Mayberry RFD is
that's
not
what you
around anywhere here in Rhode Island.
Isn't
That's
it
what you should.
sad?
That's
I
what you
just-
should call it, Melissa. It's the
Wholesome
spot.
club.
It's the
Pleasantville.
wholesome club.
that
Yeah.
your mom manages.
Yeah. All right.
Managed by
Serve
mom.
milk and cookies.
Well, you can get wieners at the old canteen.
That's true. We're going to be able to.
I
What's
still
that?
have such issues with. I'm sure. Do you guys too? I mean, trying to envision how they're going to transform. That's a perfect corner spot. It's got like historic
Yeah, they're going to
lights
paint
marquee.
over
They're going to
the
make it
pink
a half wiener, half.
I went there
nightclub upstairs.
once.
Or speakeasy
Don't you have
or
to
something
climb stairs to get in that building?
A couple
that was-
stairs, yeah.
to get
Yeah.
into the.
I don't see it working then.
You remember the good times? Whoever
Unless you can put an elevator in.
who went to the living room in Providence?
Yes.
Where you had to go up the ladder.
Yes.
How about the library
And,
over near
cross,
Bryant?
and cross the bridge,
The
cross,
library
across
I've
the
been to.
roof to get into the living
Never
room.
went to the living room, but I did go to the library.
They have a ladder
regularly.
too?
No.
No, okay.
They were just your basic club restaurant.
Michelle Wu went back to work at Boston's mayor yesterday with her 15-day-old daughter Mira. 7 Una over the baby.
Kind of an interesting battle for you guys, for the Bostonians up there for mayor.
Yes, because Josh Kraft has been
Yeah.
on for mayor, so that's amazing.
I'm sure he's got enough money.
She needs to testify, though, before the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform next month about Boston's sanctuary city status. And Channel 7 reported when asked if she will attend the hearing, she said her staff is reviewing the matter. So we'll see if she goes or not.
Yeah.
And should we bring the baby down to D.C.? Get a little sympathy?
Yeah.
Has everyone seen the baby? All right.
I give her credit. 2
Bring your
weeks.
baby
2 weeks
to work.
weeks,
back. Yeah,
that's-
we're back to work.
Yeah.
All right, Tim, time for your second message, please, from Navigant Credit Union.
Sure, absolutely. For all the small businesses out there in the city and the surrounding areas, Navigant Credit Union has it's new in the sense that we've really kind of beefed up our cash management offerings for small businesses out there. So merchant services, payroll, sweep accounts, electronic safe deposit boxes, things like that are all now part of the offerings by the cash management team. So if you're interested in learning how Navigant might be able to help you run your business a little bit easier, take some of the burden of the financial management portion of that off your shoulders, give us a call, 233-4700, and ask for Gidget or anybody on the cash management team, and they'll be happy to come on out and visit you, talk to you about some of the great products and services that we have, all at competitive prices. And then, it's all about us trying to help you make your life a little bit easier so that you can kind of enjoy the things that you should be enjoying. Again, 233-4700 or navigantcu.org is the website.
All right, Tim, thanks. And the Coffee and program will continue here on ON Radio. Please stick around.
Due to higher prices for food, gas for the car, and utilities, The bills piled up, and I got worried.
For years, the Good Neighbor Energy Fund has responded by providing energy assistance to local households.
Thanks to the fund, my family is getting through this tough time.
If your household is having trouble paying the heating bills, please contact a CAP agency, call United Way 211, or visit Rhode-IslandGoodNeighbor.org. Ad sponsored by the Rhode Island Broadcasters Association.
Northern Rhode Island Council of the Arts is celebrating 30 years of Mardi Gras. The coronation of the Queen is February 23rd and includes an Italian buffet. Tickets $20. The Mardi Gras Ball is March 1st, includes a Creole Cajun buffet, and will feature the Squeeze Box Stompers. Tickets $35. Tickets can be purchased from any Queen contestant or at Missy's Family Restaurant, Cello's, Timeless Antiques, Pine Swamp Place, Beela's Flowers, The Honey Shop, Creative Impressions, Vos True Value Hardware, or call 401-486-9380 or 401-257-5797.
It is Coffee In here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with John Ward and Tim Draper and Melissa Smith. And we were chuckling before the show started. I don't think you want to go to the Kennedy Thanksgiving this year.
Nope.
Caroline and Robert, cousins, really don't like each other. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So that touch football game on the lawn
becomes tackle.
Is going to become tackle right now. Boy, she just called him a predator.
Yeah, she ripped into him.
Yikes.
Yeah.
So.
Well, every family has an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's theirs right now.
Oof.
So it's Caroline versus Robert Jr. So.
What's interesting is how that that whole family has always been just stuck together like glue, and you never saw a rift or a break in any of their political or personal lives. Everybody was all united, and really they.
Now it's half
the country's
and half.
not united. The country's not united.
When you have a relative who has worms eating his brain, you just. I can't wait to see the hearings today.
Oh, this ought to be good.
That's right. He goes
Do you
up
think
for
he makes
confirmation.
it?
I think he. I think he will.
I think he does.
I don't know.
Oh, I think he will.
I think.
Sorry, Melissa.
I
think he does.
Many of the things he has said have been either exaggerated or taken completely out of context. Many of the things he said are absolutely nutty.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a hard thing for them to. I don't know how they're going to separate it when they start putting his own quotes up on the cardboard behind them.
Yeah.
Right.
And he has to try to explain that. It's going to be fun to watch.
Well, there you go. It's a must-see TV.
You'll have to give us the cliff notes. Those of us that are retired won't be in front of the TV watching.
Break it down.
Drop us some notes later of
highlights. I mean, there's many things that he says that make absolute sense.
And then
there's other stuff that's just nuts.
Okay. Right. All right. One of your favorite people, John, Chuck Schumer.
Chuckles.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer.
Yeah.
He's continuing. Yeah, that's right. He looks just like him. He's continuing his push. He wants to lower egg prices. He's on the lower egg price thing.
Fine. Wipe out bird flu and start reproducing stocks that'll be able to put out more eggs.
Right.
How's he going to do that?
He pledged to do everything he can to limit the effect of bird flu that's causing egg prices to surge.
How is the government going to fix that?
Well, he's going to work with the Republicans, you see,
to get this
Republicans can fix
to get this crisis under control, and that more federal funding will be needed. We're going to take it from Melissa. You don't need it. And we're going to put it to lower egg prices. Over 60 people, by the way, have been affected with the bird flu, and one has died.
They're going to take it out of the farm subsidies for producing wheat and corn
I don't know what they're going to
and
do,
ethanol, and they're going to move it over to egg production
someone-
and saving chickens.
someone on
Yes.
that level of government just focus on how broken healthcare is. Eggs are important. I see all the tiers of how it's impacting America. I really do. I am an egg consumer. I'm an
like
egg
eggs.
eater.
All right.
I'm a baker. I'm all the things. Healthcare is scary right now. Can I just get some platform of attention on healthcare? Please.
Amen.
Okay.
Amen.
Okay, that was my PSA for
You
the
got it. I
show
think we
this
should- I
morning.
think we agree.
The amount of energy that is put into some conversations, I just want someone to stand at a podium and say,
We're going to fix it.
healthcare is broken, and
Okay.
and the next 5 years is going to be very scary.
All right.
Just marinate on that a little bit and all the layers that go with that.
Here's an amusing little anecdote. And, you think the whole O.J. Simpson thing would have gone away by now, since he passed away. by the way.
That's
Never
right. He's
go
dead. I
away.
forgot about
But
that.
now,
he is dead.
yes.
Did they auction off the white Bronco or something?
No,
Oh.
but now O.J. Simpson's youngest son is accused of improperly claiming ownership of his late father's home. It's mine.
Is it in a will?
That is according to a lawsuit filed by the special administrator of Simpson's estate. The home was bought by an LLC in August of 2022. The LLC is owned and managed by Justin Simpson, who is a real estate agent. But the lawsuit claims the LLC was actually, quote, the owner in name only, unquote.
Are they trying to grab the house for the settlement
For
with
the
the Goldmans?
settlement, probably.
Must be. They must
Yeah.
be trying to. They must
Upon
be saying
his
that.
death.
Right.
You can't deny somebody their residence in a bankruptcy. So when they bankrupted him, the resident stays
Okay.
allowed for him to live there, but possibly they went to court and said, but when he dies, it's
The house
ours.
goes to the Goldmans.
All right, I'm gonna hang on to this. I'm gonna ask Bob Lauder about this tomorrow.
Yes,
He's,
that's a Bob Lauder question for tomorrow.
oh, by the way, O.J. Simpson passed away last April. He was 76. Prostate cancer.
Yep.
All right.
I remember we talked about it. I just forgot.
Forgot that he died.
You reminded
Because
us.
you don't think about O.J. Simpson every day.
Not every day.
No, you don't.
Not every day. No, you're right about that.
Wake up in the morning and go, OJ, what's he doing?
A group of Louisiana lawmakers are asking the NFL to make sure the Super Bowl halftime show is, quote, family friendly. It's
Listen,
Lamar.
I think
Kendrick
that,
Lamar.
I think that the group of concerned citizens should be more concerned with the referees making sure that they just don't give it to Kansas City.
Well, good luck with that.
No.
Oh my God, that game! Not that Buffalo did anything to help themselves, but there were just a couple of calls. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
really?
Now I hear from other people say, well, the Chiefs always get their calls at home. Since they're going to be on a neutral site and a different set of referees, you're not going to see those homer calls coming towards the Chiefs. I was
We'll
like,
see.
okay, we'll see is right.
They should have a different set of referees at every playoff game.
Right.
They should pool them all and pick out the best
I
and
think
move.
they do.
Oh, okay.
That is how they do it. Anyway, though, Republican state senator down there in Louisiana, Valerie Hodges, 16 other state legislators, and 15 organizations sent a letter to the chairs of the Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation and the Louisiana Stadium Expo District. And they expressed concern about past halftime shows with lewd lyrics, suggestive dances, and our famous wardrobe malfunction.
Malfunctions.
Grammy
Still
Award
dwelling
winner
on that.
Kendrick Lamar is set to headline the halftime show at the Super Bowl on February 9th. When the Chiefs take on the
I
Eagles.
think I know a
no
single
word
song by him.
I don't either. I probably do. Probably heard it, but
I don't know. I haven't seen a halftime show in probably
Yeah, I don't watch
20
the
years.
halftime show.
I usually either go to
I
Puppy
can't
Bowl
remember the last time there
or
was an
or an
inappropriate.
old Law and Order episode.
Well, some people complained it was a few
Something
years
I've
ago.
recorded.
It was Snoop and Eminem, and there were a lot of rappers, and there were
Yeah.
that part was the lyrics they were
All right,
concerned
but we've had like
about.
Justin Derulo. Is it? No, that's not his name.
Justin
Derulo.
Jason Derulo. Thank you. I don't think there was
Sad
anything
that I know that.
inappropriate in that. We had Lady Gaga one year.
Yeah,
There was
she was fine.
Maroon 5. There was nothing in that. Like I can't remember the last time I remember watching it saying.
just
Maybe-
preemptive. They're preemptive.
Just because they sent this letter, they're going to get it. They're going to crumple it up and throw it away.
Right, because they're not going to. It doesn't matter.
The halftime show has already been planned, not quite produced yet, but this is what we're doing, and it's already all set and ready to go.
Right.
He's already rehearsing it.
That
so,
$10 million is committed.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. All right, the most streamed show.
At least they don't have to wait to get it from the government.
The most streamed show in 2024. What do you think it is?
The what?
Yellowstone.
No, most streamed show of
Most
20
streamed show.
In
I should know this
2024?
one.
Murders in
Yeah.
the Building.
No.
Only Murders in the
Oh,
Building.
that was a good one,
That was a
though.
great one.
The Bear?
It's
No.
It's a kid's show.
Oh, it's a kid's show.
Yeah, give you. It's
Like-
Blue. It's Bluey.
Good
Who?
Lord.
Bluey.
You don't know
that's the
Bluey?
new
Oh,
one.
your kids are getting older.
Not Blue's
grandson
Clues?
watches-
This is,
No.
this isn't
Watches
a
Bluey a
variation of
little
Blue.
No.
Blue's
No,
Clues?
it's not
No.
Blue's Clues.
It's they're dogs.
Yeah.
You should
From
take,
Australia.
You should take 15 minutes and watch one.
Yeah.
I think I'm good. I
Actually, you
still
should- have you ever-
haven't recovered.
There's
Have
a-
you seen the special?
But you
on the
haven't
Wiggles?
lived until
Remember
you
the
hear-
Wiggles?
Yeah.
They have
Bluey. Yes, that's right.
There's a special out there. I think it's on Netflix about the Wiggles and their
yeah?
and how they
Oh,
started,
God.
and then their comeback. It's actually quite good.
Is
I was
it?
surprised.
Wow,
I was not a
okay.
big Wiggles fan,
Oh,
Yeah.
God,
but
no.
it was really good. And there's a few of them, just a lot more wholesome than I thought. I thought they'd be kind of like deviants,
Bizarre,
but they
okay.
really weren't. They were
Really,
just nice guys.
first time I ever saw Wiggles, I thought something wrong with these
Something
guys.
wrong with these guys.
These
exactly.
funny men that are
They're all
singing
like
and dancing.
I think there's a PhD in early
But
elementary education on there. There's a
I
teacher.
think I did know that. I think I.
Yeah, there's a
thinking
bunch
that.
of them.
The ones my grandkids are watching, and they're in the say from 6 to 12 age group is where this targets. It's called Dude Perfect.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one.
Dude Perfect.
All right.
Check it out.
Aren't you a hip grandpa over there?
That's
knowing
why
what
they're
the-
calling everybody, hey dude. Hey dude.
Bro.
It's
Bro.
hilarious.
So Bluey comes in with 55.62 billion minutes viewed on Disney Plus.
Wow.
Well, that is 100% parents that are trying
what
to
is
cook
it?
dinner.
Click.
That is,
This will keep you
that is
set for
parents that just
15
need
minutes.
20 minutes to
10
make dinner. Let me put this on.
10 years ago, it would have said Peppa Pig.
Yeah, but we moved on to Bluey. Other animated shows in the top 10 include Family Guy at number 3, Bob's Burgers.
Family
That's
Guy is
hysterical.
I
still
still
on,
love
huh?
Family Guy.
Bob Burgers is number 4. SpongeBob's at number 10.
They're all like animated film. They're animated stuff. It's
You don't
amazing.
know these shows?
I mean,
never
I know
watched Bob's
SpongeBob. I'm
Burgers.
just shocked
All right.
that it's still on like the top 10 list.
But what's weird is the long-running hospital drama series Grey's Anatomy came in second. The rest of the top 10 were filled out by NCIS,
still on.
Young Sheldon, The Big Bang Theory, Law and Order, and Criminal Minds. My daughter just discovered Grey's Anatomy
Yeah.
just this past month, and
Yep,
she thought
my
it was
kids
great.
too. Yeah, they
And,
yeah.
For a while, it was Friends. Friends was the thing that
Yeah, but
everybody
now
plenty
was.
of
so
content.
she was streaming Grey's Anatomy and was getting into it and crying. I'm like, oh.
You know what's funny? My
Been down
husband
that
tried
road.
putting
I've
on
already
a.
seen this. I've already seen that one him die.
So ER was like before Grey's, right?
Yes.
So ER was like the first hospital-based, whatever. Yes, George Clooney. No, not
St.
before.
Elsewhere was first.
Oh, yeah, it was George McClooney.
Now,
Was it
go
St.
back,
Okay.
go back before that.
St. Elsewhere was the
Elsewhere?
80s. Marcus
What
Wahlberg.
was St. Elsewhere was the one, I
Yeah.
think, was the first
Okay.
network
St. Elizabeth's
series
in Boston.
About a
hospital show.
hospital base. So Noah Wiley, who was
Then
in
it was-
ER, is in a new
back.
show called The Pit.
Yeah.
So my husband's trying to convince me to watch it. I watched 2 episodes, and I'm like, it's just like all the other shows. Like I don't.
Every other hospital show.
I know, and
It's
he,
like-
but he looks good. He hasn't aged. So if you
hasn't.
were no, he looks good.
Is he now the head of medicine? Is that what
He
he's
is in
the
charge
top
of an
dog there?
ER in the
Well,
pit.
okay, down in the pit. Okay. I hear it's kind of graphic. What do you think?
I think they're going for a little bit more graphic than let's say
Medically
like a
graphic,
Grey's
let's say.
Anatomy offers you, but
Okay.
it's fine. I fall asleep.
Oh, it's that good, huh?
But that's not it's not a measure. I fall asleep to everything he puts on.
Tonight is Chicago night on NBC. Everything is
three
Chicago
those
Fire,
shows.
Chicago Law and
Police.
Order, Chicago this, Chicago
You know what we
that.
just went back to watching is Newsroom. Have you ever watched is it called Newsroom?
News Radio?
News no.
No, the morning show.
No. With not Jeff Bridges. I don't know my people's names.
All right.
I thought it
Oh,
was
I know Jeff
the
Bridges.
New,
I
the
know-
new no. Yeah, it's
I know what
called
you're talking. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah.
What am I thinking of?
I think it's called the Newsroom.
Yeah, that's good. That's a
think that's
great
what it is.
show. It was only a couple years old. It was like 3 years, three
Is that
seasons.
the one with
I know. I thought Jeff Bridges. That's not his name.
No, it's the guy with
But I
from
can
Dumb and
picture him.
Dumber.
Yes, him.
Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Daniels.
Good job. That is a good show. John, you would like that show.
Yeah, you might.
I'm serious.
All right, we gotta.
Which streaming service is it on?
No, it
Guess he
came
only
out
has
years
one.
ago, but it.
We gotta end on this just to get everybody to
kick us
roll
off
their
here.
eyes and go. Oh, give me a break. Posting. Let's get carving. Tampa Bay, Florida area Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna. Keep that last name in your mind. Luna announces she's officially introduced legislation to add President Trump to Mount Rushmore.
Oh, well,
See, there you go.
collective eye rolls, everyone.
Yeah, she says his remarkable accomplishments for our country and the success he will continue to deliver, quote, deserve the highest recognition and honor on this iconic national monument. And I will
people
put,
are so stupid.
I will
They
put
really
money
are. What
that this
is
will
going
not
on?
happen.
Yeah, I will too.
Oh no! I think instead Trump's going to
Want his own mountain?
He's going to do an executive order that's
Oh,
going to
he'll pay for it?
rename Mount Rushmore Mount
Him?
Trump.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
I just think you'll find a new mountain and just carve his own face. One like the
He probably will.
the Indian one they're doing now, the Native American one that has
New Hampshire?
Geronimo.
No. Is it Geronimo?
Yes.
The one, they're carving another.
He's on a
okay.
horse.
stone.
He's
Right.
on a horse.
Yeah.
It's Geronimo.
Yeah.
All right.
That one actually
Well, there
makes
you go.
sense.
Yeah, it does make sense.
That would make okay.
But Trump will do one of his own.
Oh,
Try to find a
that's
place
too
in New
funny.
Jersey.
All right. That does it for the show for today. Thank you very much for listening in. Melissa Smith, thanks for being here.
Good to see you guys. See you next week.
All right. And Tim Draper, thanks for coming in.
See you later, everyone. Have a great week.
All right. And John Ward, thanks for coming in.
Hey, it's the last show in January.
Well,
That's right.
Coming up on Groundhog Day.
Wow,
Enjoy
was
it and enjoy
Yeah.
the God-given day. Thank you.
Thanks, John. And this is Joe Callahan wishing you a good day as well. And stay tuned for Gary Smith and the crew. Do you remember at 9:30 here on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news. A man from Westerly, Rhode Island is facing DOUI charges following a wrong-way crash in Connecticut. 22-year-old John Turo was arrested over the weekend after Connecticut State Police troopers saw him driving the wrong way on Interstate 395 South in Norwich, Connecticut. Troopers say when they pulled up to Turo on the shoulder of the road,